I just want to hug my 23-year-old self and tell my 23-year-old self, like, girl, you'll be fine. So what am I gonna name this video? Maybe it's things I've learned in my 20s or things I wish I knew in my 20s. I've been seeing these type of videos. I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to do one because I feel like I have some, like, maybe some insight or things that I think people could actually learn from. If you're new to my channel, my name is Contentment, and I do a lot of my videos around dating, hypergamy, finessing, just getting money from guys and dating generous men. I also have a Patreon where I give out tips and I share success stories, and I've been doing it for numerous years and I love and enjoy it. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're a return subscriber, then you know I love you. It's all love. So first things first, that I think that I wish that I would have known in general or just in my 20s is when you're manifesting, be very detailed. Like, you want a big house, the square footage needs to be put down. You want money. Oh, if I could just get, I just want some money. How much money do you want? Be very detailed. Oh, you want to move out of state. How do you want to move out of state? You don't want to move out of state where abruptly and you're forced to move out. Be very detailed on what you want. Like, oh, years I used to manifest so long because I used to be so vague about the details that I wanted in my life and what I wanted for myself. And like, even like small things, like, oh, when I would write down amounts, like, say when I was sugaring, I would write down like, oh, well, I just want to find a sugar daddy, give me an allowance. Girl, the allowance can be 75 cents. You're not saying an amount. I think that the more detailed you are, the more the universe provides. Also, something that I wish that I would have knew in my 20s, have not even had failed success. That people have not even had failures because they never tried. So their projection for you and the life that you want, it's coming from a place of like envy. And I used to think that it was coming from a place of like concern, like genuine concern. Saying things like, oh, well, you shouldn't date men for money because they're going to want sex. But didn't you guys say all men want sex? Or is it only men that you ask for money from? Is it only guys that are rich that want sex? Or is it the poor ones also asking for sex? I think that I wish that I had the discernment to know that some of the advice that was given to me wasn't coming from a place of genuine concern. It was actually coming from a place of envy and hate. Also, like, just getting dating advice from people who I've never even seen go on a date. Wish I would have learned like earlier, and this one is so important, like how to invest. I was always good at saving, but I never knew how to invest my money, how to make my money work for me. Certain things I could have did 10 years ago for my benefit. Not even the money that I got from guys or whatever, even the money I was earning for myself, like working for myself. I wish that I would have invested that money into other places, into other things. But I think one thing that I did do that I feel like a lot of women can learn from is, like, I didn't necessarily buy like large purchases. I would never make them myself. I think that I always knew that the large purchase needed to be with somebody else's money, whether it was a car, whether it was a $6,000, $7,000 bag. I don't buy my own bags. I never did. To me, an item that you buy and you consider an investment is only an investment when you're ready to sell it, that there are buyers ready to buy it. So when I got bags, they were because I liked them. And when I got Cartier or whatever, Rolex, whatever, it's because I liked it. It wasn't because I was thinking eventually that I would sell it. I mean, that never crossed my mind. So I don't buy things like bags and stuff and think of it as an investment. For me personally, if you can find someone to buy these things for you, absolutely do it. Save your money. All those things that I thought were just so complicated years ago, especially in my 20s, I just thought, oh, well, that's some grown stuff. Like, that's some stuff that I could do when I'm 30. No, I should have been doing it when I was like 19 and 20 and I was getting $4,000 from one guy, or I was making $1,000 a night when I was in the club or something like that. Like, that should have been a priority to me, or a priority for me to invest my money. And yeah, in hindsight, I wish I did. And that's why I think, like, whoever finds this video, you guys, whether it's even $100, $200, start even if it's a money market savings account, start making your money work for you, because you could be retired by the 10 years from when you started. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you could really, yeah, like, just know your worth. Because if women claim that we are so valuable, I notice, like, a lot of women will say things like, oh well, these women that are dating old men and they're sleeping with them and stuff. Like, I want to know if those women are celibate. Because if you know your worth, you would know that no matter the age of the guy could be your age, 10 years, 15 years older than you. You don't have to sleep with him. You bring more to the table than sex. But I don't think that a lot of times, especially like when I was in my early 20s, I would just think that I would just believe the naysayers. And that brings me into my next thing. Stay away from lustful men that have no self-control. Lecherous men that have no self-control. But lustful men are extremely dangerous. And I'm going to make a whole video on what type of men to avoid when you're trying to find men that produce, men that give, men that are generous, men that are open-handed. I'll go ahead and do a whole entire video on that. Comment below if y'all want that, because that is one of them. Avoid lustful men at all costs. Quality over quantity. That is something that I feel like I just never understood until I got older, until I was just leaving my 20s. Quality friendships, quality clothes, just quality people in general, quality experiences. A really, really important one that I feel like I know people say all the time, but set your boundaries. Set your boundaries. Like, I think that a lot of people feel like setting your boundaries is saying no, but it's also about setting standards and telling people your preferences. And I think people forget that healthy boundaries help maintain and build relationships. The next one is funny. I feel like in my early 20s, I felt like I was a failure. I think it was at 23. And I always talk to women, like young women, that if they DM me on Instagram or they message me and they have like all these dreams and aspirations and they feel like, it's over for me. Like, you know, I don't have this, I don't have that. And there was times where all I had to do was be happy with what I had and more would come. I wish that someone would have told me to being happy with what you have while waiting for more to come is not settling. Settling is when you know you deserve better and you don't want to work for it, you don't want to do anything, you're tired, you're depleted, and you're like, well, this is what it is. You know? And I also think I need to do a video on the difference between contentment and settling. That'll be fun. And I just want to hug my 23-year-old self and tell my 23-year-old self, like, you're just a little baby. You're just, even like my 26-year-old self, even my 27-year-old self, like, I just want to, like, girl, you'll be fine. I remember, and I said this on Patreon, I don't know if I, but it was in my car, and the car had got totaled, and I was getting all the stuff on my car because I had to get it out because they were gonna like auction it off or whatever. And my sister was helping me. I know my sisters, oh my god, both my sisters, but my sister, she's always there for me. Like, it's just crazy. Like, every story I'm like, my sister. But I remember being like, I was looking at my sister, I'm like, what am I gonna do now? I'm not gonna get another car. I can't get another car. Like, I just felt so miserable. I was like, I'm never getting another car. I'm not gonna get a nice car. I might do a story time on this guy. Actually, that's a good one. I'm gonna do a story time on this guy that I'm about to bring up. So I had no car. My car was totaled. I did not have gap insurance. Oh, also, that's another thing. I wish I would have knew about gap insurance. When purchasing a car, always get gap insurance. Anyway, so I have no car. And I'm crying and tell my sister I'm never gonna get a new car. Like, she was like, you're gonna figure it out. At the time, I quit my job so I could stay at my sister's house on her, like, I had my own apartment, but I wanted to stay at my sister's house because she had like a huge TV and I wanted to watch American Horror Story, and I started from season 1 and I wanted to, you know, so I quit my job to watch American Horror Stories. Like, my sister has put up with so much with me. That's why whenever y'all see her with Yves Saint Laurent, Tom Ford, whatever I get, I give to my sister. Both of my sisters, actually. I owe them so much. Anyway, so my sister dealing with me or whatever, I meet this guy and he ends up being my next door neighbor, and he had 2 cars. He had a Jeep and an Infiniti, and he was like, This was like, it was like probably after a month of us like seeing each other. We would go to like the Parks of Arlington Mall. This was in Dallas, well, in Arlington, Texas. I'm sorry, this is a story time within the context of the video, but I'll probably do a whole story time on this. Fast forward anyway. This guy, he tells me like, hey, like, you know, look at my bank account. This is how much I make. I could pay for both of our rent. And he was like, I don't mind covering your rent until you're able to get a car. And he was like, you know, matter of fact, do you want to drive my other car? You can just have it. You can ask my sisters, my friends, whatever. This is a true story. And I told him, if you go back to my channel, I've talked about him before, because that's who I was dating on and off at the time or whatever. But anyway, so he was like, yeah, I'll give you the car. He was like, what else do you need? Like, I just don't want you to worry about anything. But I feel like that is like thinking you have to have it all figured out and just not knowing like what type of blessings is around the corner. Because I literally was like, I don't have nothing. I'm nobody. I'm about to just sit on my sister's couch and watch American Horror Story, and all of a sudden it was just like, okay. And then yeah, definitely turned my life up. He's a great person. I'm sorry I kind of got off the topic, but I might do a whole story time on him. Let me know if you guys want me to do a story time on him. I'm actually really cool with him. I can like call him anytime. He currently lives in Dubai, but like, yeah, he's really cool. Last but not least, is investing in myself early. Like I told you guys before, I did get surgery at a very young age. Like I got my first non-invasive lipo when I was like 19 years old. So, but as far as like working out, eating better, getting into things like Pilates, getting into the gym, little things, and investing in myself. Like I wish I would have learned how to do my makeup when I was younger. I used to admire women that did their makeup. Like I didn't know how to do my makeup. I didn't know how to do my hair. I didn't learn really any of this until my late 20s. I really wish that I would have learned how to do these things sooner. Like, and I was never a hater. I always loved the makeup girlies. I always loved the weave girlies, the natural girlies. Like I've always loved, I just like anybody that could do their hair, okay? I said that was the last one, but the power of networking. The power of networking. The power of networking. Like I really wish that I would have stopped being so shy and I swear you guys, I didn't know how to network. I didn't know how to network. Like I would literally I'm still learning, okay? I don't have that networking spirit. I know how to finesse, and I think that like I should have included that into my, I guess, networking skills. I'm not sure, but just getting around, meeting people. For people that are new to this channel, I literally be talking to my channel like everybody done been on here for years. So I don't feel like I like introduce myself, and I feel like I be all over the place. Maybe it's ADHD, but I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to join Patreon. Love you guys so much. Bye.
Baby, spend it, Prada, Indy on me. Spend it all on me. Spend it, baby, spend it. Baby, spend it.